Good evening, everyone. Time is now 6:30. We'll go ahead and start with our special session tonight, but before we do, we're going to have Councilman Chappelle lead us in prayer, and I'd ask that everyone please stand for the pledge. Okay, we're going to go ahead and dive right in. Item 1 on the agenda. Item 1 is to consider award of bid 2022 North Side 10-inch water main extension.
Mr. Mayor, Council, we've got Brian Capps here tonight. He's the engineer that has worked on this for us and involved with the bid opening, and he'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have for him at this time.
You know that this is the water extension from about the water tower 271 up past where the 271s come together up there at the Y. We annexed it. Now we're putting the water in.
We have reviewed the bids, ran bid tabs, everything looked good, all the numbers added up. We have dealt with Mr. Miller, Mark Miller Construction, any occasions. He does a lot of work all over East Texas. He's very qualified to do the project, and I would recommend, he was a lot lower than the engineer's estimate too, so I would recommend awarding that bid to him.
All right, thank you. Council, we have questions?
Are they prepared to get underway fairly quickly?
I talked to him on the way here, and by the time we have executed contracts, get funds tied to it, and get the notice to proceed going, he said he should be in good shape. He should be able to get here pretty quick, and I was stressing that was important.
Did he also happen to indicate anything about supplies, materials? Is we looking good on that as far as supplies?
We are. Fire hydrants are a little iffy. The pipe is available. The fittings we believe are available. Haven't heard anything bad about that. If the fire hydrants delay us a little bit, he'll just come back and put those on. He can be laying line and he can come back and dig up. As long as we've got the T and the gate valve, we're in good shape.
All righty, do we have any further questions? Okay, floor is open for a motion.
I'll make a motion, we award the bid for 2022 North Side 10-inch water main extension to W.M. Miller Construction.
I will second that.
We have a motion made by Councilman Adams, second by Councilman Chappelle. Madam Secretary, record a vote, please.
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimous. We'll now close item 1 on the agenda. Item 2 is to discuss and consider approval of the final plat of Cortez Cemetery, Phase Number 5, being a tract of land located in the L. Gilbert Survey, abstract number 243, Titus County, Texas, and in block number 229 of the City of Mount Pleasant, as shown on the official map of the City of Mount Pleasant dated in 1929, and being the tract called Lot 28, previously surveyed as having a 0.185 acres conveyed to Pilgrim's Pride Corporation in a deed found in volume 1028, page 189 of the Real Property Records of Titus County, Texas. All of a 0.359 acre tract conveyed to the City of Mount Pleasant, Texas, in a deed known as instrument number 20221-207 of the Public Records of Titus County, Texas. All of a 0.288 acre tract conveyed to the City of Mount Pleasant, Texas, in a deed known as instrument number 20221-2294 of the Public Records of Titus County, Texas, and all of a 0.261 acre tract conveyed to the City of Mount Pleasant, Texas, in a deed known as an instrument number 20222-304 of the Public Records of Titus County, Texas, and generally located at the northwest corner of School Street and South Otyson Avenue, and take any action necessary.
Mayor and council, this is a plat that represents an extension or an addition to the existing cemetery, Cortinas, and the plat also establishes surveyed and delineated burial plots. So we have an organized ability to take these and sell those to folks that need to purchase those things, and we have them laid out in the cemetery. And that extends the cemetery, I guess, through an agreement with Pilgrims to do this, and Mr. Thatcher's more familiar with that part of the thing. But this is essentially establishing this plats that we can move forward with, and I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have. So.
This is the property located over there that has the new pavilion. Thank you. The pavilion on, and if you remember, there was 3 tracks that were donated to us, or we got. One was donated, other we purchased for fair market, but one was owned by Pilgrims, the other one's owned by Miss Toomey, and the other one was owned by Anthony Cooper. And so this plat puts it all into one lot by us, and also establishes the burial plots that John Denny has already surveyed and has on there. So this puts us in business here. We'll be able to start selling them after this.
Does the shaded blue area there indicate where the burial plot would be, is that my assumption?
That's correct, and also you see a little dark, a different colored line through there. That's where we'll have a 6 or 8 foot sidewalk go from street to street there, so the hearse could pull in there, or not necessarily hearse could pull in there, but they can stop and take the casket out on a roller thing and roll it up to where they need to be.
Okay.
Just for the record, how many plots do we have available right now? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, you know what, we can go look and find out. It'll tell us how many, but yeah, lots and lots.
Ed, I took, this weekend, I drove over, because I hadn't been over since they finished the pavilion. By the way, it looks really nice. And, okay, so the lots that were, where we bought the property from Anthony Cooper, it's got a sidewalk through there. Those are gonna be lots over there as well.
Yes, those were done last spring, and so we've even sold lots in there. But yeah, they're there now. We put a 10-foot sidewalk. It's probably a little more than we should have, because it's kind of inviting for people to drive, but they think it's a road, and it's not. So we put some bollards on there next to the road going in, and also out on Otyson, so that they won't. But it's really for the hearse to pull up and then take the casket on the gurney they have and roll it down to where they need, and then take it off. So we'll probably look at putting something less than 10 foot down here, because it's not to be driven on. It's a sidewalk. But yeah, that now we've got them all done. And if you remember, we are this corner lot on School and Otyson right here on the corner, and then a lot of property across School Street down in here, this area, and this is owned by Pilgrims, and we're getting that surveyed so we can go back and ask them to donate it to us. They mow it, but they don't have any use for it, so we're in the process of getting that done.
Well, it looks considerably better than it has in years past. I thank y'all for doing such a good job. But while I am talking about that, so we poured the sidewalk and put lots in, that the east side would be Otyson. On the west side of those, and where that sidewalk is it is on the outside of that fence, but there's a humongous tree that's fallen over there, and if it, yeah, if we own that property, we need to kind of get that cleaned up, because everything looks great, but I know that had just recently fell. A lot of us have lost some big oak trees this summer because it got so dry, and it looked like that one just fell over, so.
It did, and it actually, some of it fell on the fence and bit it, so we've already replaced that part, but we need to go get that tree. I thought the same thing. It's over in the woods there, but it's right there where everybody can see it.
But everything over there looks A1 except for that, so, thank you for, and thanks to the people that did the work over there. It's amazing, looks great.
It was mostly me.
Ricky, I think.
All righty. Do we have any further questions on this item? Okay, if not, the floor is open for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the final plat of Cortinas Cemetery, phase number 5, as presented tonight.
I second the motion. We have a motion made by Councilman Chappelle, second by Councilman Walker. Madam Secretary, record a vote, please.
Aye.
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 Motion carried unanimous. We'll now close item 2 on the agenda. Our next item, item 3, is to discuss and consider approval of the final plat of Cypress Industrial Park Edition, being a 57.784 acre tract of land situated in the Rebecca Kirk Survey, abstract number 331, City of Mount Pleasant, Texas, being a portion of called 84.574 acre tract of land as described in the special warranty deed to the City of Mount Pleasant, Texas Industrial Development Corporation, a Texas non-profit corporation, filed for record volume 1841, page 429, deed records, Titus County, Texas, generally located on the north side of FM 3014 and west of US Highway 271. Take any action necessary. Robert.
Yeah, we made a little final, just a minor correction at FM 3417. I think I had to put that back in the other night just to clear that up on that FM road. This is the Industrial Corporation's attempt to finally plat some of their property. There is a project that they're working on now. There's some representatives here for that if you care to speak with them, those folks. But this is the Industrial Corporation's plat, and the intent is to subdivide the property into 2 lots, and also we need to tie down Cypress Drive, get that right-of-way actually dedicated. Never really could find any documentation when the road was built and it as a dedicated road. It was prescriptive, and it's been used that way, but this plat allows the city to go ahead and dedicate right-of-way all the way to the north, even though only a portion of it's built to the small cul-de-sac there in the middle, but then the right-of-way will extend to the north property line, which is owned by the Prefords on the north side of the property. I think there is some access that the Prefords take from that particular point. But that's what this plat is, sort of what we call a conveyance plat at this time. And it does subdivide the property. There will be a leftover piece of 16 acres that the IDC will retain ownership of for more development that will occur at some point. But to move this process along, the development company needed to get this into a state where they could close on the property and then start the engineering and the construction part that we had to look at. Now, there may be some tweaks to it in the future. There may be some easements that get dedicated. If so, we'll be looking at a replat that'll come back to you, and we'll get that squared up at that time. Same thing on the other piece of property, should it happen. We'll be maybe looking at that, subdividing it further on that 16 acres possibly. Nathan is here tonight to answer any questions you may have about the project, but this is a plat. It's an administrative procedure for the city council to look at. It meets all the requirements of the city, and I'll be glad to answer any questions.
The remainder of the 16 acres and change, what will be the access to that?
It still has access on 3417, and if indeed, like I said, if indeed there's some rearrangement, if they want a separate road going in there, we'll look at that in the future and may come back to you at a different plat.
council, we have any further questions? If not, floor is open for a motion.
I'll move the approval of the final plat of the Cypress Industrial Park Addition as presented tonight.
I'll second that.
We have a motion made by Councilman Adams, second by Councilman Chappelle. Madam Secretary, record a vote, please.
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. That will now conclude our meeting for today. At this time, is it? Yeah. Where did Nathan go? Oh, he's back there. I didn't see you back there, Nathan. If you want to have anyone from the company that's here that might want to speak on the item, that more than welcome to come up.
Thank you for being sensitive to that. First off, thanks again, governing body, for kind of agreeing to meet and so quickly. I know we're not meeting next week, and so I wanted to thank you for that. And while I'm here, just also again thank the city's development building side. The company has been nothing but just kind of blushing praise on Robert and his team. For just being so business friendly and just being so quick and flexible to work with. So that's a great reflection, I believe, of the community and our ability to be business friendly. So today we have so Eric Jeske is with Kimley Horn, who's the engineer for the project, which we're calling Project Veggies. And then Matt is also here, flew in from Oregon, and is here to answer any questions and can talk a little bit about it, but I can also give a small summary as well. But Matt, you want to? Yeah.
The whole time? Okay. Good evening. I'm better hum a few bars here. We're thrilled to be here. This has been a journey. My name's Matt Adams. I'm a real estate director for Project Veggies. And I'm not from Oregon, I'm from Washington. So we get shot around here talking about Oregon. But glad to be here. I've handled our acquisition, our search in the state of Texas personally, and have traveled the state trying to find what we feel checks all of our boxes, from proximity, gateway to the north, Oklahoma City, east Shreveport, a couple hours from Dallas. It hits all the bells and whistles that we're looking for. Proximity to highways, good infrastructure, and a pro-business, pro-development environment, and we're thrilled to be here. This has huge spotlight on this project. We're a publicly traded company, and a lot of our leadership are Texas residents, a couple in Houston, one in Rockwall, and so here we come in force, and looking forward to this. And Nathan did steal some of my thunder for how much we've appreciated working with Robert and the team at the city, as well as Nathan's crew. This has just been a real treat for us, when it's a challenge finding the right property. So thanks for a moment to share that with you. Any questions of me or?
I didn't know how much you could tell us today about the Project Veggie and what we have going on, but we're excited to have y'all.
I can hit a few highlights. So size-wise, this 40 acres is kind of a sweet spot for us. We're looking to build what we call a 12-acre farm, which is going to be roughly 500,000 square feet or so under a large greenhouse space. We grow lettuce, leafy greens, fresh, and part of our shtick is, if local is quote-unquote local, grow local, buy local, is kind of I learned this recently. It's a term that comes from the federal government, and what that is one truck, one driver, one shift, 7-hour ring. And so when you put a 7-hour ring around Mount Pleasant, you get about 44 million people, a lot of lettuce eaters, a lot of salad, and so that's kind of the scale that we're looking for and the region that we're looking to cover. This is not gonna be one of a few locations in Texas, it's gonna be the big one. And, so we're real excited here. Any other questions? I hope I addressed, caught some.
Will locals be able to buy the local product?
Yes, please. Yes, yes. And it sounds like there's a burial plot around if we're here that long and, you know. So it sounds like now, get them while they're hot. Is that?
We got covered.
And cheap, I heard that.
Well, we're thrilled to have you, we're thrilled to have the jobs, and, proud to hear y'all speak of our planning department, favorably. We're here to accommodate, and I, for one, as a businessman here in town, I'm tickled to death to have a new industry come in.
You touched on it, Mr. Adams. We kind of winging it here, but we're looking to hire about 60 people over a 2-year span. We've been liaising with the local community college. Our innovation and technology team has wanted to tie in with that organization. We've already met with leadership, with the school, and that is yet another big box that we like to check where we can. You know, being local, buy local, stay local, employ local.
With the acreage that you're gonna be purchasing, will you be able to have enough room to expand for future growth?
Yes, this is kind of our max, but we're not sure yet about, you know, water retention on site or where that goes, but this site gives us plenty of on-site storage for that kind of thing. We're kind of maxed, 40 acres, 60 people over time, and but yeah.
And what's the timeline on all these exciting events?
Never soon enough, but we'd love to push dirt as soon as we can. We'd love to be operational this time next year.
Nathan, thank you for working with these people. Thank you for bringing them to town. We appreciate that.
All right, it's outstanding. It sounds like you're gonna be a great benefit to our community, and we certainly appreciate having you here. Okay, if we have nothing further, we'll go ahead and open the floor for a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned.